How you doing, guys? We're back for some more reviews. This time around, we're going to be doing some whiskeys tonight. I've got to get through the rest of these little samples of whiskey, little sample bottles that Ewart Strangbrewsings sent to me a little while back. Best thing about it, of course, is that they are whiskey, and he sent them in these little bottles that have little mini seals in them. So, gave me the convenience to get to these anytime I really feel like it. Um, no, didn't have to rush or hurry into getting them all done right away, so that's really cool. Um, Before I get into the review I'm going to be doing here on this video, I just want to make a mention that three of the little sample bottles of stuff Ewart sent me, I recorded reviews of, and they, unfortunately, I had my mic muted. So, 3 videos of me blathering on and you couldn't hear what I was saying. Uh, Luckily, none of them were actually the whiskeys. They were the liqueurs and the brandy that he sent me. And I'll just give a quick rundown. There was the Cirillo, Cirolo. I don't know how to pronounce them, but the raspberry and the caramel. They're liqueurs that are. There's a raspberry truffle and a caramel sea salt. And I guess they're liqueurs that are being introduced into the market, sort of new things. Really, really good. Really good dessert, sort of after dinner dessert sort of liqueurs. Neither one of them were too sweet. They were very well balanced in their sweetness and the flavor. The raspberry truffle one was, it did have a fresh raspberry taste. It was a little bit sweeter than the caramel one. The caramel sea salt one was very interesting. That one you actually could get a little bit of the saltiness, balancing out with the caramel. Really good. I enjoyed both of them actually. I said in my review, I seem to recall that the caramel sea salt one I would drink straight, and actually you could drink both of them straight. They're sort of like amaretto is what they reminded me of. That's sort of liqueur that you put an ice cube in it or something like that. You could drink it straight out of a snifter, but also just very good for mixing with anything you wanted to mix it with. So very versatile liqueurs. Both of them excellent. I gave them both thumbs up recommendations. The other thing though, the Kruska Tepka pear brandy. Oh my fuck, that stuff was gross. It was like, it was essentially drinking fucking paint thinner. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. It's a pear brandy or Rakija straight from Croatia. And I don't know how the fuck those people drink that shit, man, because that stuff was just battery acid and paint thinner mixed into one. Just smelled awful, tasted awful, burnt going down. You couldn't pay me to drink that shit again. It was just, I couldn't even finish it, honestly. I had to dump the rest of the glass after I did my review. So, but I was really cool to be able to try it because, we don't really get brandies or liqueurs or other sort of spirits like that from Europe over here all that often. So it's kind of cool to see something that's more common in a different culture, right? So I enjoyed trying all three of them, even though I didn't enjoy one of them in the end. But I'm thankful Ewart sent those to me. Now we can get to the actual review I'm doing tonight. And actually, the blathering on I did ahead of it probably helped it sit in the glass a little bit and open up. And what we're doing right here is the Wiser's Small Batch. The Wiser's whiskey, I think they're number 3 brand in Canada, pretty much after Canadian Club Crown Royal, or maybe that's the other way around. But I think they're still the number 3 sort of brand, big brand. It's 43%. I think it's actually 43.4% alcohol by volume. So a little bit bigger than your standard Canadian whiskey. little bit more alcohol tends to help bring out the flavors, put more emphasis on the flavors than your standard whiskey at 40%. So very, very cool. Look at it here. It is pretty much a nice little sort of a caramelish color with sort of orange highlights going through it. Looks very nice. Lots of nice legs on the side there, very oily. We'll go right to the aroma. Getting a lot of wood. It's certainly not typical of a lot of your standard Canadian whiskey aromas. I mean, it does have that slight butterscotch quality to it, but much more wood forward in this. I'm getting a lot of like oak, sort of like walking through the woods. A little bit of oak. Smells like a bit of a almost a burnt quality to it. Some sort of char in there. Getting a little bit of caramel. Maybe tobacco. And it's got the oak is giving off a bit of a spicy quality as well. It smells like you walking through the woods, and maybe someone had a little campfire somewhere off in the distance a couple days prior, and you can still sort of smell it in the air. It smells like fall in the woods. Sort of has a vegetation, sort of a dying vegetation smell, and I know that sounds bad, but it's not bad. It does have a really nice little subtle complexity to it. Overall, all the different parts coming together makes it all really, really nice. So go right to the taste. Cheers. Woo. Very wood forward. A lot of oak in that. Excuse me. That wasn't the whiskey doing that, by the way. I just got something caught in the back of my throat. Going down the wrong hole. Got a nice medium body to it. A lot of oak nuttiness to it. Something like almonds. No, not almonds. I want to say pecan nuts, maybe. No, chestnuts. That's it. Oak, chestnuts, caramel, more tobacco. Finish is very, very woody. Has a little bit of that butterscotch quality again, but again, it's not typical of your standard Canadian stuff. Very smooth drinking, but at the same time, that there's this really spicy quality to the oak. And the initial drink of it, very warming going down. After that, it gets a little bit more subtle, but there is a nice warmth going down. So you do get a little bit of the alcohol in the delivery. But at the same time, it's about as ultra smooth as most standard Canadian whiskeys. So what this does very well is it brings some unique flavor profile to your sort of standard idea of what Canadian whiskey is. It delivers it with a bit more of a punch, but it still drinks with the smoothness of a good premium quality Canadian whiskey. So it's a win-win. I mean, that's really good stuff right there. I've had Wiser's before, but I haven't reviewed any Wiser's products. It was years ago when I first had them. Couldn't appreciate them back then, but definitely do now. Getting some light fruit notes as well, a little bit like of maybe like a pear. Maybe even apricot or something along those lines. Very, very nice. Yeah. All right, I've blathered on for 11 minutes now. I think you can tell I like it. Very, very good. It is a bit of a sipper, though. Like I said, it's got that. It is a smooth drinker, but at the same time, it's got that warmth. It's got that sort of innate spiciness. Very wood forward. So it's one you sit back and enjoy and drink, which you should do with whiskey anyway. You shouldn't be slugging whiskey down. If you do, you're a fool. So I'm going to say, I'm going to give that a A minus. Very, very good stuff. Maybe lacking a teeny bit of complexity. I might want to see a little bit more in that to keep it interesting. But as far as small batch whiskeys go from the sort of premium big guys in Canada, this is really great stuff. So A minus for Wiser's small batch. Thank you, Ewart, and we'll see you guys again later. Bye-bye.